Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. Create social or emotional ties. Be attached. Be in contact with. Become attached. The spider's thread attached to the window sill. Cause to be attached. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. The police confiscated the stolen artwork. Surrendered as a penalty. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. The customs agents impounded the illegal shipment. Place or shut up in a pound. Take possession of by force, as after an invasion. The invaders seized the land and property of the inhabitants. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. The FBI seized the drugs. Take hold of, grab. The sales clerk quickly seized the money on the counter. Seize and take control without authority and possibly with force, take as one's right or possession. She seized control of the throne after her husband died. Effect. Fear seized the prisoners. Capture the attention or imagination of. The movie seized my imagination. Hook by a pull on the line. Take or capture by force. The terrorists seized the politicians. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. Keep away from others. He sequestered himself in his study to write a book. Set apart from others. The dentist sequesters the tooth he is working on. Requisition forcibly, as of enemy property. The estate was sequestered. Undergo sequestration by forming a stable compound with an ion. The cations were sequestered. Stick to firmly. Create social or emotional ties. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. Cause to be constipated. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. Wrap around with something so as to cover or enclose. Secure with or as if with ropes. Form a chemical bond with. The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Make fast. Tie or secure, with or as if with a rope. The Chinese would bind the feet of their women. Provide with a binding. Bind the books in leather. Something that hinders as if with bonds. Stick to firmly. Criminal law. Money that must be forfeited by the bondsman if an accused person fails to appear in court for trial. A $10,000 bond was furnished by an alderman. A certificate of debt, usually interest-bearing or discounted, that is issued by a government or corporation in order to raise money. The issuer is required to pay a fixed sum annually until maturity and then a fixed sum to repay the principal. A superior quality of strong durable white writing paper, originally made for printing documents. Create social or emotional ties. The grandparents want to bond with the child. A restraint that confines or restricts freedom, especially something used to tie down or restrain a prisoner. Bring together in a common cause or emotion. The property of sticking together, as of glue and wood, or the joining of surfaces of different composition. A connection based on kinship or marriage or common interest. Their friendship constitutes a powerful bond between them. United States civil rights leader who was elected to the legislature in Georgia but was barred from taking his seat because he opposed the Vietnam War, born 1940. British secret operative 007 in novels by Ian Fleming. A connection that fastens things together. An electrical force linking atoms. Issue bonds on. A social or business relationship. He was sorry he had to sever his ties with other members of the team. A fastener that serves to join or connect. Finish a game with an equal number of points, goals, etc. The teams drew a tie. Create social or emotional ties. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. The British call a railroad tie a sleeper. A horizontal beam used to prevent two other structural members from spreading apart or separating. He nailed the rafters together with a tie beam. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. They tied their victim to the chair. The finish of a contest in which the score is tied and the winner is undecided. Their record was 3 wins, 6 losses and a tie. Connect, fasten, or put together 2 or more pieces. Neckwear consisting of a long narrow piece of material worn, mostly by men, under a collar and tied in knot at the front. He stood in front of the mirror tightening his necktie. Perform a marriage ceremony. A cord, or string or ribbon or wire etc., with which something is tied. He needed a tie for the packages. Equality of score in a contest. Form a knot or bow in. Tie a necktie. Limit or restrict to. I am tied to Unix. Make by tying pieces together. The fishermen tied their flies. Music, a slur over 2 notes of the same pitch, indicates that the note is to be sustained for their combined time value. Unite musical notes by a tie. Be present or associated with an event or entity. Be part of. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the die. Require, time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require as useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. Experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Make a logical or causal connection. I cannot relate these events at all. Be relevant to. Be in a relationship with. How are these two observations related? Give an account of. The witness related the events. Have or establish a relationship to. She relates well to her peers. Contend against an opponent in a sport, game, or battle. Experience as a reaction. Collect in one place. A meeting at which a number of athletic contests are held. Be adjacent or come together. Undergo or suffer. Meet a violent death. Fill, satisfy or meet a want or need or conscient RO restriction. Does this paper meet the requirements for the degree? Come together. I'll probably see you at the meeting. Be in direct physical contact with, make contact. Being precisely fitting and right. It is only meet that she should be seated first. Get together socially or for a specific purpose. Meet by design. Be present at the arrival of. Can you meet me at the train station? A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with. Come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. Lie adjacent to another or share a boundary. Canada adjoins the U.S. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. Attach or add. I adjoin a copy of my lawyer's letter. A person who is in a position to give you special assistance. He used his business contacts to get an introduction to the governor. The physical coming together of two or more things. Contact with the pier scraped paint from the hull. A thin curved glass or plastic lens designed to fit over the cornea in order to correct vision or to deliver medication. Be in or establish communication with. He never contacted his children after he emigrated to Australia. A communicative interaction. The pilot made contact with the base. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The wire must not contact the metal cover. A channel for communication between groups. The act of touching physically. Her fingers came in contact with the light switch. Electronics. A junction where things, as two electrical conductors, touch or are in physical contact. They forget to solder the contacts. Close interaction. They kept in daily contact. The state or condition of touching or of being in immediate proximity. Litmus paper turns red on contact with an acid. Make contact or come together. Take in marriage. Be or become joined or united or linked. Our paths joined. A set containing all and only the members of two or more given sets. Become part of. Become a member of a group or organization. He joined the Communist Party as a young man. Make contact or come together. The two roads join here. The shape or manner in which things come together and a connection is made. Cause to become joined or linked. Join these two parts so that they fit together. A two-way radio communication system, usually microwave, part of a more extensive telecommunication network. A fastener that serves to join or connect. The walls are held together with metal links placed in the wet mortar during construction. Make a logical or causal connection. Be or become joined or united or linked. The travelers linked up again at the airport. An interconnecting circuit between two or more locations for the purpose of transmitting and receiving data. Link with or as with a yoke. The means of connection between things linked in series. The state of being connected. A connecting shape. A channel for communication between groups. Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. A unit of length equal to 1/100th of a chain. Computing. An instruction that connects one part of a program or an element on a list to another program or list. Make a logical or causal connection. I cannot connect these two pieces of evidence in my mind. Be or become joined or united or linked. The two streets connect to become a highway. Plug into an outlet. Establish communication with someone. Did you finally connect with your long-lost cousin? Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. Can you connect the two loudspeakers? Be scheduled so as to provide continuing service, as in transportation. The local train does not connect with the Amtrak train. Establish a rapport or relationship. The president of this university really connects with the faculty. Hit or play a ball successfully. The batter connected for a home run. Join by means of communication equipment. The telephone company finally put in lines to connect the towns in this area. Join for the purpose of communication. Operator, could you connect me to the Raffles in Singapore? Land on or hit solidly. The brick connected on her head, knocking her out. Make a logical or causal connection. Be or become joined or united or linked. Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. Take a debtor's wages on legal orders, such as for child support. A wage earner who is served with a garnishment. Confiscate by distress. Legally take something in place of a debt payment. Levy a distress on. Pronounce a sentence on somebody in a court of law. He was condemned to 10 years in prison. Express strong disapproval of. We condemn the racism in South Africa. Appropriate property for public use. The county condemned the land to build a highway. Compel or force into a particular state or activity. His devotion to his sick wife condemned him to a lonely existence. Declare or judge unfit for use or habitation. The building was condemned by the inspector. Demonstrate the guilt of someone. Her strange behavior condemned her. Decorate food, as with parsley or other ornamental foods. Take a debtor's wages on legal orders, such as for child support. His employer garnished his wages in order to pay his debt. Any decoration added as a trimming or adornment. Something, such as parsley, added to a dish for flavor or decoration. Become fixed on. Her eyes fixated on a point on the horizon. Make fixed, stable or stationary. Attach oneself to a person or thing in a neurotic way. He fixates on his mother, even at the age of 40. Pay attention to exclusively and obsessively. Become friends with. Admire boundlessly and follow around. Make tight or tighter. Cause to be firmly attached. Fasten the lock onto the door. Attach to. They fastened various nicknames to each other. Become fixed or fastened. This dress fastens in the back. Stick to firmly. Stick to firmly. Keep to. Stick to the diet. Put firmly in the mind. Fix or set securely or deeply. The dentist implanted a tooth in the gum. A prosthesis placed permanently in tissue. Become attached to and embedded in the uterus. The egg fertilized in vitro implanted in the uterus of the birth mother with no further complications.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.